Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. Erev Shabbos, PARSHAS VAYEITZIEI. Yaakov against the Charan. And he comes into the city and he sees a bunch of guys. Vayomer lehem Yaakov, Achai, my brothers. Me'ayin atem, where are you from? Vayomer meCharan nachnu. They said, we're from Charan. So he says to them, do you know Lavan? Right, it's the first case of Jewish geography. Oh, you guys are from Charan. Wow, you know, I have an uncle in Charan. You know my uncle? They say, yeah, as a matter of fact, not only do we know your uncle, but there's his daughter Rachel. She's coming with its own. So Yaakov immediately launches in to an incredible berating of these guys. And he says to them that, hey, no, Oriyom Gadol, lo ese osef amikna, hashku atzonu l'churu. So he says to them that it's still the middle of the day. It's not time to bring the animals in. Go water the sheep and then keep going. And it is such an incredible exchange. Yaakov Avinu walks into town. He's looking for his family. He sees these guys. First of all, he says to them, Achai, my brothers. You know, I know that's sort of like the sprach. It's the way people talk nowadays. Yeah. Yo, bro. It's not the way they talk then. You turn to the guys and say to them, my brothers, and then go and smash them like that? So many commentaries have what to say. Rabbi Yaakov says beautifully, he says that we know that in Erechin, the Gemara talks about the mitzvah of tochacha, the mitzvah of rebuke. And the Gemara says, Ad heichon tochacha, how far does the mitzvah of tochacha go? Rav says, Ad hakah, that you have an obligation until the guy starts to hit you. Shmuel Omer ad klala, until the guy starts to curse you. Rabbi Yochanan Omer ad nezifa, until he gets angry. So Rabbi Yaakov asks an incredible question. He says, how is it possible that you're potter from a mitzvah? The Torah says, you have to rebuke a person. How can it be possible that you're potter from the mitzvah because of klala and nazifa? In other words, the guy starts to curse you, or the guy just gets angry, the guy becomes uncomfortable, you're potter from the mitzvah. Where are we ever potter from a mitzvah because somebody else is being uncomfortable? I have an obligation to you, to be mochiach you. I have an obligation to rebuke you and to warn you and to criticize you. So then how could it possibly be that I'm potter, that I'm exempt from the mitzvah because you become uncomfortable? So the Rambam says that if I see a person doing an aveiro, I have an obligation to be mochiach that person. I have an obligation to rebuke them, to let them know they're doing something wrong, and to be machziro lemutav, to bring them back to the good side. The Rambam explains that my rebuke has to be done in a very soft kind of way. I have to let him know that I'm doing it for his own good. And that if it doesn't work, I have to do it again. And I have to do it again until he indicates clearly that he is not listening to us. And what the Rambam is teaching us is that as soon as there is aggression, as soon as the guy gets angry, as soon as the guy becomes uncomfortable, what he's saying to you is that I don't believe that you have my best interest in mind. And therefore, that's the mitzvah of tochacha. The mitzvah of rebuke is not getting it off your chest, telling somebody they're doing something wrong. The mitzvah of rebuke is getting the message across to the meichiach, to the person that you're giving tochacha to, that I care about you. I care about you. I care about your spiritual condition. I care about your spiritual life. And anything short of that, it's not that I'm potter from the mitzvah. That's not the mitzvah of tochacha. The mitzvah of tochacha is to convey that you and I are the same. I love you. I care about you. And this is how far I'm willing to go to show you how much I care about you. I'm going to prevent you from jumping off of a roof. I'm going to prevent you from falling off of a cliff. But it's not because I'm a do-gooder. I have this feeling like I got to walk around telling people, no, that's not the way you do it. No, it's because I'm in love with you. I'm in love with people. And I just want that their lives should be smooth and clean and good. What we see from this is that a mochiach, if you're going to fulfill the mitzvah of tochacha, the hachana, the preparation for the mitzvah of tachana, of tochacha, has to be a love of the chayta, a love of the person who's doing something wrong at the very moment that you're going to give him tochacha. That's why you're pater, because the fact that the person got angry, the fact that the person became uncomfortable means that you're not performing tochacha, because you're not able to convey this message to them of how much you care about them, and therefore you have to stop, because this type of tochacha is not coming out of love. And now I understand why Yaakov Avinu walked into town. And he looked at them and he said, Achai. Oh, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say he said brothers because he wanted them to know that he cared about them. I hate to break the news to you, but calling a guy bro doesn't tell him how much you love him. But the one that needs to know that you love him is you. You need to remind yourself that the reason I'm giving tochacha is not because I've got this condition where I need to tell people they're doing something wrong. But the reason why I'm telling him is because I love him. Achai, you are my brother. Rabbi with a student, tell his student from today till tomorrow, I love you, I care about you. But he's got to exude that. And that only comes from reminding himself, Achai, you, kid, you're my brother. We're the same, we're one. A Yid looks at another Yid and says, oh, you're doing it wrong. But it's only coming out right if I remind myself, Achai, you're my brother. What Yaakov Avinu showed us is not the way to give tochacha by saying to them, I love you. What Yaakov Avinu showed us is what's got to be going on inside of us. Achai, you are my brother. When we talk about Avos Yisrael, we talk about loving other people. It's not just as simple as I love you. It's that I have to remember you are my brother. You are my sister. And when I feel that, so then I can start to worry about you. And I can start to care about you. Because we're one. We're the same. We come from the same place. That's the obligation to give tochacha. The obligation to give tochacha is not to give tochacha. That's not the mitzvah of tochacha. The mitzvah of tochacha is to feel a sense of love and to feel a sense of connection to other people. Tochacha is not a mitzvah bein Adam Lechaveiro. It's not a mitzvah between you and God. It's a mitzvah bein Adam Lechaveiro, between us. And it's part of the mitzvah, part of the general obligation to love people. It's not to control people. It's not to tell people you got to stay on the straight and narrow. It's got to come from a place of love. It's a reminder that I have to feel connected and one with every Jew. Halavai, we should get to that kind of place, that we can actually give tochacha And it's not when the Gemara says that we don't have people that can give tochacha today. It doesn't mean we don't have people that know how to talk. Plenty of people know how to talk and can talk smooth and can get a message across in a very smooth way. No, we don't have mochichim today. We don't have people that can do this mitzvah today because we don't have people that love people enough today. Just imagine how the world would change if we would we would approach our obligations between Adam Lechaveiro, between one person and another, with a sense of love, a sense of real Avos Yisrael. You and I are the same. Imagine if every time we saw a group of people gathered together, we look at them and we said, forget about what the words are. It doesn't matter what they hear, but that from you, inside of you is exuding, and you remind yourself, Achai, them's my brothers. How far would that go? What kind of world would that create for ourselves? That's Yaakov's legacy. One simple word. Not to them, but one simple word to his own heart. Achai. These are my brothers. Have a beautiful, wonderful, awesome, amazing Shabbos.